Hello and welcome to 66% Gaming. This time we will be looking at the One Page Rules January 2023 miniatures release. Starting off with a Ratman cannon. Looks like it would be... I think they look a bit... These cannons look a bit too tubular, more bulbous than I like. But I like the poses of the models and the style of their outfits. They don't look like they would be too difficult to print, even at a smaller scale. Yeah, they look relatively simple and straightforward to print and paint. There's the back of the cannon. Ratman with a barrel of combustibles. Not so keen on the Ratman's symbol. I think something a bit more creative could be found for that. But I like their what do you call them? A gambeson, I think. I think that was a good design choice for them. I like that pose. And the engineer or rangefinder is a good design choice as well. Supplies. Looks like a good model. These are the Ratman veterans. I dislike how big their swords are, but I otherwise liked their armor design. You look imposing and heroic in a way with their long flowing cloaks. Oh, the halberds are nice. I like these designs. They look relatively easy to print. Musicians. Oh, that was a nice pose. Oh, with his standing on the skull of a war demon. That's pretty cool. The Ratman rat swarms. I kind of like that it actually looks like a swarm. I don't think that's even remotely practical to print. I mean, it would require so many supports in there, and they'd have to go from the tops of one rat to the bottom of another rat. Yeah, that's not feasible for printing, I don't think. But I mean, visually it looks good, but I can't see how you'd turn that into reality. Maybe the designer has positioned everything just right in there, but doesn't need so many supports. But I can't see how with such a density of them. This is the Ratman Warlock, one of the upgrades for I think it's the captain or the chieftain or the champion, I think it is. Yeah, I like the design of his halberd. There's a double shot pistol, which kind of reminds me of in Green Hornet. The villain in that has a pistol with like two barrels that he can use to shoot at two different targets in different areas. It's pretty cool. This looks like some kind of power source or lantern. But yeah, good looking model. And Fanatics bikers for the Battle Sisters. Not really a fan of the oversized chainswords, but I like the general concept design for the bikes. That's with the big wheels. I think they look very rugged and almost like muscle bikes in a way. But I mean, there's just so much going on with these designs. They'd just be so hard to paint. Why do they even bother with all of the detail here on the inside? How's that going to be easy to paint? Nice pose. Again, another nice pose, but such a complicated design. But these I think you'd have to upscale and just to be able to get to the details. The Sisters Bike Warriors. I like the design for the masks on them and the hoods. I mean, I've already made my thoughts on the bikes clear. I think actually I quite like this the way these ones are. This one is sort of settled, submerged into the base as well. That's quite nice. Make it easier to balance and glue it on there. Again, ton of detail, which would be difficult to do unless you're some kind of master painter, which not everyone is. I like the double guns on the front. These are the special weapon variants. I don't know if that's like a fusion gun or something. Flame gun, I think. Some kind of flamer. And the lance, I believe it is. I like that design. These are actually quite nice poses, I think. That's probably the fusion gun or something. Perhaps a shredder. And this is the Battle Sister Superior. I like that there's a variety in the way you can customize them. Be it just poses or heads. And I kind of like the not a cape, but sort of not a robe, the long flowing jacket, I guess, of these models. Actually, that's a new rebreather type. And bit of a change to the sword. While that it's the hilt, this is, yeah. It's pretty chunky, at least the blade's a little more reasonable. And that pistol or rifle variant is quite nice. I think the iconography here is a little similar to the Ratman. Wish it was a little more distinct. Interesting design of the headdress. This one. Oh, these must be the heavy rifle combi weapons. This one's got a crossbow. This one looks like maybe it was some kind of flamer or something. Oh no, this one must be the flamer. Or flame pistol. Anyway. Yep, some interesting designs there. But these would have to be large display models, I think. Which is something of a problem with all of these Sisters of Battle designs, I think. That they're not that easy to print or to paint. These are the Change Demons large terrain. That's actually quite a nice watchtower. Not necessarily a watchtower, but yeah, I think that would look pretty snazzy on a tabletop. You've got the right colour scheme of these. These are Battle Sisters bases. Some interesting bits and pieces. Some relatively flat areas for gluing things down. Not too bad. Look like streets. The Battle Sisters game aids. Got some candlesticks. More candlesticks. Altars with candlesticks and parchments, scrolls. You got your ruler, battle ruler. That's a nice design with the wings on there, and the scroll along the top. You got your Ratman bases, which again just look like ordinary streets. These are the Ratman game aids. You got your ruler. I like some of the designs on these rulers, like the little rats here. More bells on sections. rat heads, certain corners looking in, ribbons. They have a very they have almost like a knightly feudal feel to them, the rat men do, as opposed to the Skaven, which they're very different, these two armies, in theme. Of course, all of these aids seem to be based on cheese. And of course, you have a dice as well, where you can get a symbol on a 1 or a 6. And lastly, we have the Xenos fleet models, which I actually think these ones are quite good. Often some of the designs are rather bland and generic, but these ones actually look sort of... Yeah, I quite like these ones with whatever, these sort of like spore cysts or whatever they are, tubes and almost coral growths coming out of it. This one's obviously the battleship, main large one, cruiser, escort ships, and fighters. Yep, nice designs. Or obviously bases. Anyway, that's it for this video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next month for the more of the Titan Forge miniatures reveals. Okay, thank you for watching, and goodbye.